Hi guys, and welcome back to Hypership Tutorials. Thank you for tuning in. In the last video I showed you guys how to implement the crouch system. In today's tutorial we're going to be changing a couple of things, especially with the player controller itself. And the reason behind this is because we're going to need this to change when we're adding the climbing system. So let's go ahead and do that. It's quite a short tutorial, it won't take long. So the first thing I want you guys to do is, let's click the scene view, is add a new empty game object. Okay, it should be zeroed out, don't know why it's so far out. Let's delete it and add it under the player itself. There we go. So that's a new game object, yeah? And I want to put this as player controller, like so. And I want to drag it out and put it inside placeholder. Okay. Then I want to come into the player controller right over here. I want to copy component. I want to come into player controller. I want to click on these three arrows up here, four arrows, sorry, and paste component as new. So that will paste the character controller exactly the same place with all the information already there. I'm going to come to the original character controller and I'm going to delete it off the player because we don't need it anymore. Okay. That's fine. So what we now need to do is make some changes into our script, otherwise we actually can't walk. So if I run the game now and just show you what happens, we shouldn't be able to move because we'll find no reference to the character controller. There you go, look, we can't move. Alright, so let's go ahead into Visual Studios and let's implement some changes. So first of all, we're going to need to get a reference to the character controller. Okay. So let's go up to player controller over here, and underneath this I'm going to put public, and this is going to be a game object, but let's just put it as a transform. Sorry, butterfingers. And I'm going to call this CC, short for character controller. Okay, we're going to go down into our awake function, and now we're going to put cc dot get component character controller. Alright, so this is going to get the character controller from our game object which has the character controller on it. So let's go back into Unity and let the script update quickly. Right, so that's fine. Let's go back into our player script over here. We just minimize the animation names. Now we're going to look for the new variable we made, which is CC. CC is this object here, so I'm just going to drag CC in there. Okay, and that should automatically change to that one. So let's run the game really quickly. Okay, there you go. Right, so we can't currently move, but our character controller should be moving. So if I go back into our scene view, just going to drag the screen on one side, you'll see this character controller is moving, but not our character. Now we want to fix that. Okay, it's quite a simple fix. All we're going to do is we're going to get the player and we're going to get him to follow the character controller in real time. So let's go back into our Visual Studios. So we're inside our Visual Studios, and over here underneath our animation, actually no, let's make a new header over here. So this one's going to be header and two speech marks, player follow char. So this is the player following the character controller. Okay, and I'm going to put public transform player transform, or should I call it, yeah, transform CC. That should be okay. So that's that. And also we're going to need a public float speed to CC. So that's the first two variables we need. Let's go into our awake function, and we want to change a couple of things. So first of all, player transform CC dot transform dot local position equals player controller dot transform dot local positions. Okay, then we're going to say player transform cc dot transform dot local position equals a new vector 3. So we're actually assigning the positions so it can follow the character controller. Player transform cc dot transform dot local position dot x, and the y-axis I'm going to put exactly the same. So player transform dot cc dot transform dot local position dot y, and same for the z-axis. Okay, that's the first part done. Let's go into our update function, and over here I'm going to put a comment and I'm going to say player to follow character controller. Okay, let's go ahead and start coding this part. So what we're going to do is we're going to say vector 3 player follow move is going to be equals to new vector 3 open bracket player controller, where are we, dot transform dot local position dot x. I'm going to copy that line, I'm going to paste one in here, and I'm going to change that to y. I'm going to paste another one and change that to its z, like so. Okay, and put a closing semicolon. Underneath this I want player controller transform dot local position equals to vector 3 dot lerp open bracket player follow move, oh no, sorry, player transform dot cc dot transform dot local position, comma the new position you want it to move, and it's going to be constantly doing that, which is player follow move, comma the speed to cc times time dot delta time, and that should work. That should make our player follow the character controller in the update function. Let's go ahead and test that out. It's going to pause it while it compiles. Okay, let's go ahead and test that out. Oh, there's an error. So let's have a quick look what it is. That's not the error, something in the script itself. Let's have a quick look, bear with me. Let's go back into Unity and let's clear the errors up. I want to see what the one, there we go, this is the one. Speed to con, what did I name it? Speed to character controller, there we go. Save that and let's go back into Unity. Right, so we're back in Unity, and the first thing you want to do is you want to try and assign the transform. So this transform, oops, sorry, there we go, don't know what that was, just popped up on my screen. This one is going to be equal to your player, and the speed you want it to change, follower sorry, is depending on what you want. So I'm going to set it to, for example, 8. And what you also want to do is you want to select your player holder and you want to drag it up a bit, okay? because what's going to happen otherwise, it's going to not detect the ground, so you want it to fall so we can actually walk. Okay, so make sure you just drag your actual player holder up a bit. So let's run the game and let's see what happens. Okay, we fall to the ground, we walk back, our player follows exactly how we planned. If I jump, he'll follow the jump. It just needs to be a bit more faster, I would say. You can see there's a little time gap between it, so I'm going to put this as 15. Much better. Sorry for the lag, like I said, if you select the player, that's what's going to happen. So there you go, walk left and right, it follows perfectly. I jump. I'm very happy with that. But I didn't care. What I will do actually is, in fact, I will increase the speed of character controller, speed to character controller, sorry, to about 50, as I don't want any smooth movement. It should be exactly what the character controller is doing. There we go, I'm happy with that. So let's stop the game and change that to 50. So there we go, that's all we need to do. So we've done that. So in the future tutorials, when it comes to the climbing tutorials, we will have that already set up, so we can change that. The reason is we need to change this position without affecting the character control with the actual player. Otherwise, what would happen is, if you would have that on your player, it would do this, something like this. Okay, so if I was to move this upwards, the player would go like that as well when it's climbing. We don't want that, because the player will be playing the climbing animation and we don't want it to be affected. The only thing that should be affected in the background is this. So let's say the player is over here, he's climbing. Okay, while he's climbing, his animation, I don't want it to be interrupted, so I'll just change this to here, and I will go into the script and I will lock the player to follow the character controller, and once it's landed up here, he'll follow the character controller. It's as simple as that. And hopefully that's very soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.